Hello everyone, it's Al from Exiles, and today we've got a Utopia deck profile for you. Utopia was a archetype that began in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal anime based off of the number 39 Utopia card used by the protagonist, Yuma. Over the years, it has got a lot of number Xyz monsters, a lot of different supporting Xyz monsters, and as well as that, an onomato themed archetype, which we're using in this deck. The deck primarily focuses on turboing out Xyz monsters using rank up magics to get to stronger Xyz monsters and drawing a load of cards through the very iconic Xyz change tactics continuous spell card. Now, without further ado, let's talk about the deck. So, we'll start with the new cards from Lightning Overdrive. We've got 3 copies of ZS Ascend Sage and 3 copies of ZS Armed Sage. See, this is what happens when you don't do a script. But I prefer that, reading off, improvisation just feels a little bit more authentic. ZS Ascended Sage can special summon itself from the hand if you control no cards. If it's used as an Xyz material for a Utopia, and that monster's Xyz summoned, you can add a rank up magic spell from your deck to your hand. An Armed Sage, if the only other monster you control is a level 4 monster not named ZS Armed Sage, you can special summon it from your hand. So both of these, basically, without me falling over my words so much, they are a bit tricky, because this one means you have to control no cards at all to special summon, and this one, it's like the only card monster you control can be a level 4. So if you draw both of these, fantastic, you can special summon them both one after the other. However, if you do any other plays before that, well, you might be in a bit of a sticky situation. ZS Armed Sage, similar to Ascended Sage, can add a ZW monster from your deck to your hand when used as material for a Utopia Xyz monster. Next, we've got our Onomato package. This one will probably be cut down a little bit when the new Utopia support comes out for us, but I'm not expecting that until mid next year to early next year, maybe. So we've got 3 onomatopoeia and 3 coat, as well as 1 glove. So onomatopoeia can special summon different, so your onomato monsters from your hand during the main phase. He can special summon himself out if you control a Zubaba or Gargaga monster. And Glove can, during the main phase, special summon a Zubaba or Gargaga monster from your hand. And if you control a Go-Go-Go or Dododo monster, except himself, while he's in your graveyard, you special summon it from your graveyard. And Onomatopoeia counts as all of those long monsters. He counts as a Gargaga, a Zubaba, a Dododo, and a whichever the other one is, I can't really remember, but they all work in tandem as a nice little rank 4 package to synergize with your deck. 1 Xyz Dolphin, you can special summon this, you can search this with Generation Force and special summon it from your hand if you Xyz summon. 2 copies of Pegasus Twin Saber and a Lightning Blade. I'll probably swap one of this out for the one that protects your monsters from targeting. I forgot the name of it, but I think it recently got reprinted. If not, then I don't know. This one can negate monster effect while it's equipped, and Lightning Blade can protect your monsters from being destroyed by card effects, which is awesome. Twin Saber basically can special summon itself from the hand if your life points are at least 2,000 lower than your opponent's. How do you get your life points that low? Well, you have to go through the loops of Xyz change tactics, pay 500 every time you Xyz summon to draw a card, which is pretty cool. And it also gives the equipped monster 1,000 attack when it's equipped, and Lightning Blade gives it the equipped monster 1,200 attack. We're running 3 Lance here because a lot of decks in the format banish at the moment. 3 Xyz change tactics. This is a not once per turn draw card that every time you Xyz summon a Utopia monster, you can pay 500 life points to draw a card, but you can only control 1 Xyz change tactics. 3 Generation Force, this searches Xyz change tactics, it searches Xyz import and Dolphin, but you need to control an Xyz monster in order to do that. 3 copies of Zexal Construction. This, by revealing a card from your hand, you can search a ZW, a ZS monster, a Zexal spell or trap, a rank up or a rank down magic. but you must put that revealed card back in your hand. It's a fantastic card to help, you know, unbrick you as well as search, which is awesome. Freeze Exel Force, again, pretty fantastic. It can banish itself from the graveyard while your life points are low in your opponent's to draw a card. But your opponent's life points do need to be at least 2,000 higher than yours. And by targeting an Xyz monster you control, you can special summon your extra deck, a Utopia or ZW monster that is 1 rank higher than that monster you control. And if you do, you can take one of your ZW or ZS monsters from your deck and place it on top of the deck. This is treated as an Xyz summon. We've got 2 onomata pickups, which can search your either Utopic Onomatopoeia or your 3 copies of Onomatopoeia. This is a fantastic card because just by the simple send of a card from your hand to the graveyard, you can search 2 copies of either a Zubaba, Gargaga, Dododo, or Go-Go-Go monster. Words. 1 Xyz import, really unique form of removal. So it can target an Xyz monster in your field and a monster in your opponent's field and equip that monster to your Xyz monster as Xyz material. There's excellent trust. I like this card as a one-off because it helps extend you into another high rank Xyz monster if you go through the combo with Dragonic Halberd. So you can bring back one of your used Utopia monsters, summon it from the graveyard, and then use that as a rank up fodder. We've got the 1 rotor and the 1 double or nothing to wrap up our main deck. Let's talk about the extra deck. Now we've got a brand new Utopic Draco Future and a Utopic Future. This card can summon itself by using Utopic Future as material. You can summon Utopic Future by using 2 non-number Xyz monsters with the same rank. And Draco Future can't be destroyed by battle or card effects. And he has monster effect negation that can steal the monster it negates, which is awesome. Not to mention that Gaga Magician can give it an additional 1,000 attack. We've got 3 copies of Utopia, pretty standard for the deck. Can negate attacks by detaching a material. 1 copy of Utopia Double. This can close out games with OTKs, getting the monster up to 10,000 attack and being able to attack over a monster again. Now we've got the cards. This also can help trigger your Xyz change tactics more times by its own effect, but primarily you want to just be using this guy to close out games. Now we've got our names, which basically are the ones that you use to just draw off of Xyz change tactics. Utopia Prime and Ray can both be slapped on top of a Utopia number 39 just for free. And Utopia the Lightning can be special summoned on top of a Utopia Xyz monsters. Utopia the Lightning as well is very handy, especially in getting over cards that have on-field negation or are quite big. So it can run over cards like Dragoon, it can run over cards like Appaloosa, Avramax, because its effects, it's like got an Armades effect, which is awesome. 2 copies of Dragonic Halberd. I was thinking of Leo Arms, but at the moment, until we get the new stuff, Leo Arms doesn't really feel that great in a sense. It's weird. Maybe it's because I'm not playing the one that protects you from targeting, but again, Dragonic Halberd, you rank up into it and it can search any Zexal card from your deck, which means you can get the Entrust. You can detach a Utopia from it, get the Entrust, use the Entrust to special summon back the Utopia, rank up that Utopia into your ultimate Dragonic Utopia Ray. Then you can use the Dragonic Halberd to equip to the Dragonic Utopia Ray, trigger its effect, and equip your Zexal weapon from the deck to it. Moving on to Ultimate Dragonic Utopia Ray. Obviously, if it's targeted, you can equip a Zexal weapon from your deck or hand, I believe, to it, as if it was equipped by its own monster effect, so it gains all of the benefits. And once per turn during your own turn, you can detach a material from it to target face-up cards your opponent controls up to the number of ZW monster cards equipped to it, and you can permanently negate their effects. Another thing to note about Dragonic Halberd is if it is equipped to a Utopia monster you control, that monster will gain 3,000 attack, making it huge and quite difficult to get over, so it will be like a pseudo sort of towers monster that your opponent will have a little bit of trouble dealing with. We've got 1 Utopia Beyond, a very interesting rank up to go further. So it will reduce all of your opponent's monsters to 0 attack, when Xyz summoned, which helps you get rid of some amazingly powerful monsters your opponent might have. So yeah, and then we've got our 2 main fodder to go into your F0 package, which is Gaga Magician, can bring back any Xyz monster from your graveyard, pretty much. And Tornado Dragon, which is your back row removal. But yeah, that has been the Utopia deck profile, guys. It's a really fun deck, lots of nostalgia, and it's actually pretty good. You can potentially squeeze out some good wins with this deck. It's definitely not meta-defining at the moment, but I've seen that the support the deck is going to be getting is pretty amazing, so hopefully we get those cards here. But if you're interested, go on the Yu-Gi-Oh! Organization website and search up for the Utopia support from the OCG. You'll see some pretty crazy stuff, and it's very exciting. So fingers crossed, it will all be good, and yeah, thanks for watching.